Hello, friends. Welcome to the 39th episode of Shout on Flame of Magic, the podcast, and we are going to review Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. So let's get to it. And once again, thank you to Francisco for providing the theme song to the podcast. Really appreciate it. And today, joining me for a record 6 guest appearance is Walker D. Whirl.
Yay!
Welcome back to the show, Buddy O'Pal, my favorite person in the entire world.
Yay!
And we are going to review Across the Spider-Verse. We saw it separately.
Yeah.
So before we get to spoilers, do you like it, love it, hate it? What do you feel about it?
Well, I like it, so they said this made it the whole entire thing.
Yeah, you didn't like it was a cliffhanger?
Don't add it to a cliffhanger, just make the whole entire thing. Maybe, yeah.
Nice. And I would say I was more on the love it side, and I did not mind the cliffhanger, especially as the marketing department did a very good job of being like, at first they always called it Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, and then I guess at one point they dropped the Part 1. And in our theater, as soon as it said to be continued, people, like, there was like several people who were confused. One person gave a loud "what the," and how did your theater take the news?
Well,
No post-credit scene either.
not that cool. Like, nothing happened.
They were confused.
No.
Confused kiss everywhere.
No physical kiss. It says, like, they're standing there.
Okay. But some people liked it. I mean, I thought well, let's not get to the cliffhanger yet. So the movie opens with Spider-Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
Just on a regular adventure. And then her dad's mad at her because he thinks Spider-Gwen killed their Peter Parker, who was the Lizard, which was cool to see the origin story of. And then, and then who did they fight? Who's the villain of that moment?
A Walter.
Yeah,
From the past.
Yeah, from the Renaissance era. Which I guess is a weird timeline of like, what if the world never went past Leonardo da Vinci? But the art style too. I would say one of the cool things about the movie is all the fun different art styles. Mixing and matching and becoming like a whole new thing. So the Vulture is like, I don't know, like a moving paper, I guess would be the only way I could describe it. And then because he's from an alternate universe or a different Spider-Verse, if you will, a team of Spider-Verse heroes show up led by Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man 2099. And then a very pregnant Jessica Drew shows up. Spider-Woman meeting Spider-Woman. What do you thought about a pregnant Spider-Woman?
I don't know. I just wanted to say the end.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll jump to the end so you can participate in the conversation. Yeah. It was hard to get you as a guest. So the movie ends. We're just going to jump to it, and then we'll talk back up to how we got there. With Miles Morales being bitten by a spider in 42, which we saw in the first movie, which I can only imagine the 42 is a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the answer to everything is 42. And so there's a moment where he needs to get out of the Spider-Verse hub. And so he gets scanned by his spider blood, I guess is the best rationale. And so the computer registers him going to Universe 42, because they're all numbered, which is nice. And if you're paying attention to the movie, you know that's not the right universe for him. And so then he gets teleported to 42. And then in that 42, we find out that his father
is dead. Also, now we all know Miles is the power.
Yes. Not his brother, his uncle Aaron, who's apparently helping his mom Rio out. But his uncle is working for the Prowler. and his uncle, and the Prowler in his universe is
Miles.
which is a pretty, and it's cool too because Aaron knows the whole time, like, oh, you let your cornrows out, and anyone who knows anyone with cornrows, you don't just make that decision on a Tuesday and then you do it on a Wednesday like that. It's a process. And there's all this like build up, and Aaron clearly takes him to their base, and then the Prowler shows up, and it's not even much of a cliffhanger because like Miles is gonna get out of it because Miles is about to to blow up the keychain, or not the keychain. It'd be easier, but the chain link around him, and so Prowler has a gauntlet lit up, and then Miles is going to blow up his own because it's 42 is a universe where no one got bit by a spider. I read some people online who were saying something about that was the universe Miles was supposed to be bit, but it's like, well, and then what? He would have turned the Prowler into a Spider-Man? Like, I think it would have been more like there's a Peter Parker. But it causes the issue about how weird it is in these movies where no other heroes exist. So, like, you're saying no one ever picked up a costume and fought crime? So, like, there's no Peter Parker at all? But it's also like, is there no other Miles Moraleses in the universe besides the one? I don't know. What do you thought about everything in the 42 verse?
Well, good. It's cool.
Yeah, it was very dark.
Dark.
Oh yeah, so you saw in Great Falls with your aunt and cousin. How was that movie experience? We haven't already talked about it. I've been saving it for this podcast.
I guess good. They have fancy seats.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Like the XD seats?
No.
Oh, even fancier?
Yes. It's red seats with cuffly fins.
Okay. Were you able, if you wanted to, could you have ordered food throughout the movie?
We had to sale.
Oh, what do you share?
It wants popcorn.
Oh,
Okay.
what do you drink?
A smoothie.
Oh, okay, a Coke smoothie?
Yes.
Nice. They had Coke smoothies back at the Cinemark.
Oh, that means you did that smoothie.
I know. I missed out on the Sprite smoothie. I wanted it so much. Okay, so that's the ending of the movie. We're doing things a little wackadoozy over here. So what do you thought about pregnant Jessica Drew back in the beginning of the movie?
Okay.
Yeah. Only part I was concerned was when later on when she's chasing Miles and he shoots her with some webbing and throws her against the back of a truck real hard. I was a little worried about that. I was like, yikes, she's pregnant. Which was a controversial moment in the comics as well. Which I want to say I Googled recently and was like, whatever happened to that baby? And I guess the baby just hangs back every so often. Trying to think. Oh, and Jessica Drew in the movie is African American, which is nice for diversity purposes. Let's see here. And then there's Miles every time. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, which now I have a hard time realizing like I'm never going to see what happens to Marvel 2099. And that makes me sad, but I try not to think about it for too long. But Walker might survive until 2099, live long enough. That's a life goal for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I need you to sit up.
Okay.
Okay, and so, what happens then? And so then we are led to believe that Gwen Stacy, or her and her father get in a big fight. She reveals to him that he's Spider-Gwen. And then she joins the interversal team. And he's just left there to feel bad. And then we catch up to Miles, who's doing a decent job of being Spider-Man. He's the only Spider-Man in his universe, but he's not doing great in Spanish. And he comes across his enemy, the Spot, who I like in the comics, who also started off in the comics as a serious villain and then turned into a joke.
Okay. Big thing. I guess Miles Morales wasn't meant to be that Spider-Man. And this really was.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Because the spider joining Miles's universe messes up. Was never supposed to happen because of the Kingpin's ramifications of creating the portal in the first movie. And which it is unfortunate that Miles is going to end up with 3 movies that make him a Spider-Verse character instead of just giving us like a street level villain at one point. But because of that machine, the Spot was one of the scientists working for it. And so now he has Spot powers that can make him go through the Spider-Verse himself. Which I didn't get that one universe he goes to that has a Asian lady at the a bodega, a grocery store, and I was like, is this a reference to something? But I don't know. I was like, maybe it's a reference across the what's the movie that won all the Oscars recently? Anywhere, Everywhere, All at Once.
I don't know about that movie.
Yeah, I don't. I know. I want to watch it though, but we haven't got a chance to see it. And then Spider-Gwen's chasing the Spot. She meets up with Miles. They have a lot of cute moments together. So if you're shipping them, you get a lot of ship material. But she's there not to see him like he thinks, but to stop the Spot. And then she chases the Spot into a pretty much Spider India, which was a fun moment. We get teased that she and Spider-Punk are hanging out a lot lately. And he was a pretty cool character, which, I don't know. I don't really read Spider-Man comics after One More Day or... I mean, I dipped in a little during his Superior Spider-Man, but I missed out on a bunch of these Spider-Verse crossovers that Dan Slott and company are doing. And so then they go to Spider India. They save... I forget his name, but Spider India, for lack of a better name, is one. And so then he's dating a nice gal who's, of course, the daughter of the captain of the police. So that Miles saves the captain after everyone. Turns out they were hoping to let the captain die because in every Spider-Verse there's canon events like the spider being bitten, an uncle dying, a police captain dying, which to me, one of my only weak points in the game is that if that's true, then, and I know that's the whole plot of the movie, but you'd think there'd be some type of universal time lock where it's like you can't come into the Spider-Verse until these 5 events happen, and then after that it's like a soft border drops. And we didn't even talk about this. So Walker has this plan to make a Spider-Verse movie video on his channel, Walker D World, and I sort of wish we made it before the movie came out, because we were gonna have, and we're still gonna work on the movie, but we were gonna have Lego Spider-Mans in it, and then out of nowhere we saw a Spider-Verse. Yeah, which is fun because the writers of the movie also worked on the Lego movies, so it's like that's a friendship being used. And so they save that Spider-Man, and then they finally cross into the Spider-Verse, and that's the moment in the movie where it's like, we need to watch this movie more, or we need, like, YouTube's gonna blow up in 6 months when the DVD comes, or the DVD, when the digital copy comes out, and everyone can just like be like, this is every Spider-Man in Spider-Verse. But there are some cool ones. My favorite, of course, is the Scarlet Spider. Do you have any favorite ones that popped up for you?
What about Spider-Cat for you?
Yeah, Spider-Cat from the Miles Morales game was there.
I used to just took that cat, put it in his backpack.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Oh, before they do that too, his friend Genki is playing the PS4 Spider-Man game, which was fun, but also complicated because do they not have a Miles in that game then? Must not. I wonder if they have Mary Jane stealth missions in that game. And then we see the video game Spider-Man, the Insomniac Spider-Man in the universe, which was great. And then they got Donald Glover to be the Prowler from the Tom Holland movies. Because we remember, and it's never a blink and you missed it, but but they actually have a live action segment in there. Well, I guess quite a few. And we see Donald Glover, who was in Homecoming, and he references when Tom Holland webs him to the taxi or a car. And he's like, oh man, my nephew's... he references his nephew, which as fans know, he was playing... what's Miles' uncle's name?
Uncle Aaron.
Yes, he's playing Aaron. Thank you, sir. And he makes a reference to his nephew, so we know that somewhere in the Tom Holland universe is a Miles Morales. But they legit got Donald Glover in a Prowler uniform or a costume. And what were you going to say?
Well, now we all know what's going to happen if it's a fourth Tom Holland movie.
Which they said they're going to make a college trilogy.
Oh, that means the power will show up in that movie.
Yeah, the Prowler should show up. Hopefully we get a Miles. I guess if they're smart, they'll wait until movie 6 to... Well, if it was me, they'd pretty much do it like the video game where Miles shows up in the 4th movie. Maybe the 5th movie he gets bit towards the end. And then, boom... we get 2 Spider-Man movies where Tom passes on the torch, the Spider Mantle, and then we just get Miles Morales movies forever.
Yeah.
Which I'd be fine with, because by then we have had 6 Tom movies plus 3 bonus movies where he guest appears in. That's the part of these movies, like they're all based on contracts, and so it's like, yeah, like we would love for Tom to be in these movies, but he has a 9-picture deal. So it's like, how much it counts for a picture? Can he show up for a cool moment? Because people are talking about how fun it'd be if he was in Hawkeye to fight Kingpin. And it's like, he's never going to show up in a Kingpin Daredevil movie. Other live action moments, we got to see Andrew Garfield crying about Captain Stacy dying.
Mm-hmm. That means I feel like... what's going to happen next? Is it going to happen the same way again? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Gwen's father's safe because he retires at one point so that he can hang out with his daughter more. And then we also get Tobey Spider-Man in there crying about his... Oh, yeah, there's a montage of all dead uncles. And it makes you realize, too, like, oh, yeah, Miles has his own dead uncles, so that's pretty... Like it all lines up.
And at the end, it shows that. Like, at the very end of that montage, we just see that.
Yeah. And then, there's Western Spider-Man with his horse that also has a mask. That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So there's a big sequence where... and then, of course, Peter B. Parker has Mayday in it. I don't know. How old do you think Mayday is?
Okay. Well, the last time we saw the movie, and after they got together, like, at the very end of the movie, that means... Since then... Well, he's still a baby, that means... She's still a baby, that means... Since maybe 31, that means 2 years old.
Yeah, I'll probably say that. Though the first movie did come out 5 years ago, if you're trying to do some real world math.
Yeah, except after that, they probably got married 1 year later. After that, it took some years later.
Well, it took 5 years to make you, so sometimes it takes a while to make a baby. But also sometimes you can't, so you gotta be safe out there.
Okay. Safe.
Yeah, adults listening to this are going to be like, where's this conversation going? But that's it. Let's just talk about safety.
Yep. Safety rules.
Safety does rule. And so Miguel, being a real jerk, tells Miles everything. Where it's canon events, people need to die. Spider-Gwen was not trying to save Miles, but actually was trying to prevent him from saving the uncle. And then Miles starts realizing like he needs to get back to because his father is about to become Captain. What's Miles' dad's name?
I forgot too.
Yeah, I forget too. But he's about to become captain of the police, and so now Miles immediately does the math and realizes he needs to get back home so that he can prevent his father's death, and that's when a call goes out. Everyone stop Miles Morales. And it's a fun moment where all the Spider-Men start pointing at each other. And then it's a movie. And probably if you're going to cut anything in the movie to make it one full movie, you could have made that chase sequence shorter. So what would you have wanted that scene? You would have wanted them to just fight each other at the end and then roll credits?
Yeah. Everything...
Right, you wanted 2 more minutes in the movie so it wasn't such a silly cliffhanger?
No. 1 more hour.
You wanted 1 whole more hour? Well, now we're going to get 2 whole hours probably. Because it's a long movie. It's like a 2 hour and 20 minute movie. I'm trying to think of fun things that we see. Spider-Cat was there, which was fun. There was it's almost too much information. But then Miles gets home. Spider-Gwen commits to the idea of she's going to help Miles out. And then... But she goes to his universe. And so there's this whole moment in time where we think they're both in the same universe, but we start getting ideas. But if you're paying attention, you know that they're not in the right universe, and you're just waiting for that moment, that aha moment. And then she meets Miles' parents for the second time. Miles' mom in the beginning of the movie gives this amazing speech of like, just be yourself. Don't let anyone tell you you're not great. You don't belong. Which I was like, well, this is a nice thing. And I kept waiting for the speech to like have a, like a snazzy 1-line summary of like, be yourself, be greater. But we never quite got that. I do appreciate Twitter never spoiling the movie. Except for one guy posted an image of the Prowler suit from the Miles Morales game. Which there's a part of me, if I had more time in the world, I would love to do a playthrough just as the Prowler suit. Though it's not my favorite by far. Like my favorite's the cat outfit. Which I got as a Pop Funko because I got the platinum and was like, I'm treating myself to this game. And then haven't gotten a platinum in another game since then, I'm sure. But I was like, I wouldn't mind just doing all main missions as the Prowler. And be like, if you know, but like I just bought the Guardians game and have not played it once since buying it. So I'm behind on the games I want to play. And then the Scarlet Spider's in the game. So Miguel picks Jessica Drew and Scarlet Spider, who sounds like a real idiot in the game. Like, I don't know if he's trying to do a Rorschach from Watchmen, but he gives like, he talks in comic book captions. So my wife's like, wow, Scarlet Spider's a real idiot. And I'm like, well, he says Peter Parker, but blonde. So I don't know why we went that direction, but sure. Fun times, I guess. And so in reaction to that, Spider-Gwen picks her army of, or her crew of spider folks. Do you remember who was all part of them?
Kind of. Spider-Gwen. Bill B. Parker, Spider-Pen.
Pig, yeah. Spider-Ham.
And also Pen.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, Pen, the girl from the first movie.
And Spider-Pig.
Yeah. Spider-Man Noir, who doesn't talk, because I'm imagining they're going to get, try to throw some money at Nick Cage to have him come back. I feel like there's 2 more people.
Spider-Noir, Spider-Gwen, and
I'm pretty sure Spider-Punk and Spider-India, right?
Oh yeah, right.
which we should look up his name. Oh, I should mention too, people talking online now. There's a moment when Spider-Gwen goes back to her universe and sees her father, and the coloring of it drapes her in the trans flag colors. So I don't know what that means. Maybe she's just an ally, or who knows what it means. But that's out there. Oh, Spider-Punk's name is Hobby Brown, which is a fun. I don't know, because that name is the name of the Prowler in the 616 universe, or 616, depending on how you want to do it. And then, so I looked it up, and his name's Paviter Praparkar. So I butchered that. So that's why I haven't been trying to say it. But it's essentially Peter Parker. So Paviter Prabhakar? I butchered it, but I tried. And if you want to tell me how to pronounce it, I will do it better for the next time the movie comes out. And so that's pretty much the movie. Oh, during the chase sequence, the 66 Spider-Man showed up. That was fun. Trying to think of any other things. But I really dug it. Apparently the next movie comes out in February, so they're doing the same thing like they did Infinity War and Endgame, where one movie came out and then the very next year the next movie came out. So it's not a horribly long wait. I still hope they call it something like Beyond the Spider-Verse and not Across the Spider-Verse Part 2. Like, if we're only going to have 3 movies, can we at least have 3 different titles so we can refer to them as Into, Across, and Beyond? I mean, that's just a marketing 101. So I guess you have any other thoughts you want to say? I thought the music was okay. I didn't think anything stood out crazily.
I don't know what to say now.
Oh, Miles got a new costume.
Oh yeah, right.
I thought it was okay.
It was only one extra detail. He only just painted his armpits.
Yeah, his armpits, and then his palm of his costume is red too. And then as we're transitioning to the exit, so Miles and Miguel get skins in Fortnite, and they just released today. Sheena just announced today. The Marvel skins are supposed to come back on June 21st when the Secret Invasion comes out. So, and Nick Fury should be out, though I guess there's some discussion if we get a new Nick Fury, or is it just Nick Fury back? But I've been tempted to get his glider. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Some business. I'm going to release this tomorrow or tonight, and then I'm going to wrap up Trial of Jean Grey, so we'll be finally done with our Guardians coverage. And then my plan to do well, I guess we should announce it here. So my plan to do all new Ultimates issues 1, 2, and 3, and then hopefully do those 3 issues, and then I only have 3 Secret Invasion comics, so my plan is to do 3 of those, and so that's why I picked 3 Miles Morales comics, and so look forward to that in 2 weeks. So this week is Across the Spider-Verse, next week is Trial of Jean Grey Part 6 of 6, and then we do All New Ultimates 1. And I don't know if we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 straight, or we're going to do some Secret Invasion intermix. I think because of how silly the Guardians thing has been, I'm just going to do 1, 2, and 3, and then do Secret Invasion right after that. And then we have a secret project I'm hoping to kick off after that. And then I don't know if we're going to do Secret Invasion episodes or not. But we'll see how we watch that. And and so you can follow Walker. Oh, Walker, will you promote your stuff? Where can people find you?
YouTube, Walker D World. Yay!
Nice. And you just got, what, 60 subscribers?
No, 63.
Hey, you're doing it, buddy.
Yeah.
And then you can follow the blog at shadowandflameofmagic.com. We're about to go have our 10th anniversary, which I've yet to think about what to do for that. But I always do an anniversary post, so definitely look forward to that. You can follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at SNFWM, the and spelt out. You can follow me on Twitter and YouTube at Jackal SIII. And hopefully eventually we start filming the Spider-Verse video. We have it scripted and we've practiced it, rehearsed it, but we'll eventually get around to it. So thank you everyone for listening. Subscribe to Walker D World. He'll really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next time. All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye.